What's up, everyone? This is the Offside Perspective. My name is Clyde. I'm joined here by Lorenzo and Kris. And today we're going to talk about the best transfer so far. I know the transfer window has a couple more weeks, but let's go ahead and talk about the best transfer you guys seen so far. Lorenzo, you go first.
Um, I'm gonna be more conservative with this one. I think the best one was Gundogan going to Barca. Experienced player, won the Champions League. I feel like Barca was kind of missing that midfield since Xavi and Iniesta have left the team. I feel like he's gonna probably provide the most value, even if it wasn't it wasn't a lot of money. It wasn't an exciting young player like Bellingham to Real Madrid or Man City last season. I feel like the best transfer so far has been Gundogan in Barca.
Have you taken into consideration his age, though?
I
Because he
have,
is 30 something.
I have, and considering how
Okay.
Barca had the financial, difficulties and their struggles, I feel like they need someone to kind of deliver quickly within a season or two, and they can, have some time to build their team.
Okay, and you think Gundogan is the right answer? Yeah, I mean,
Um,
with Busquets leaving, I I think they definitely needed someone in that role.
yeah, I
Chris,
think.
what is your opinion?
Go ahead, go ahead. I'm still
Uh,
thinking. I'm in a debate between two players. So go ahead.
I think, yeah. I mean, there are a lot of transfers that happen. Big name players, promising players. Even with Arda Güler, that was very close to sign for Barcelona and then went to Real Madrid last minute. But I think considering Barca's current squad and their goals and, like I said, their financial difficulties, I think Gundogan is a player that has experience, has won. I feel like he can fit in the team right away compared to younger players who come from other leagues and might need some time to adjust.
Okay.
All
Plus,
right, I think
with
I'm gonna play it safe. Uh, I think it's either Bellingham or Rice. Um, I like both players a lot. I think Bellingham's gonna fit in very well. That also depends on the rest of his team because they still need a striker. And then Declan Rice as well. I think he's a very, very good player. Arsenal, I think, got him for they did, I guess, pay a lot of money, but he'll be worth it in the long run. I don't know if Arsenal's going to do so well this upcoming season. They came off of a very, very high last season, so that remains to be seen. But I'm leaning towards the Bellingham side more. I think he's gonna, prove different levels that he showed at Dortmund. Um, so that's a safe option, I guess.
Okay. I think I'm gonna have um, similar opinion with you, Chris, because as you guys know, I'm a German fan, so I used to watch Bundesliga a lot, and Bellingham definitely proved himself. Considering his age, I mean, he's not even 20. What? How old is Bellingham?
I think he might be 20,
I think
21.
he just hit 20, but
Okay, which yeah, he's very young, and I
I
mean,
wish we
he
had
even
Google, right?
captained the Borussia side for a few games when Royce was missing. So to be that young and to captain such a big team as Borussia, I think he definitely
I
proved
mean,
himself. And
even in the English team, he he definitely deserved his spot. It's not like a lot of younger players usually with the English team. They tend to, rely heavily on the EPL. But somebody that young to come through, from the Bundesliga and break in the English first team. So definitely, proved himself. But Real Madrid's a different level,
Yeah, and
I
England's
guess.
definitely that's one thing that they've always been against, anyways. Like all of England's team members have been through the Premier League. They've never
Right.
really looked. So, and I was kind of surprised too, even with Bellingham, he gave him that many chances because okay, you look at the likes of like Tomori in Italy, and you have I think, well, I mean Smalling is kind of out of it, but there's some more players that play, outside of the league, and there was that debate, and he never chose them. So Bellingham, he has a lot of trust in, and you can definitely see why.
Do you think Southgate, or not just Southgate, but English managers in general, are they biased towards people, the players that play in the Premier League and players
Oh
that
yeah,
play outside?
oh yeah, 100%. I think they so okay. There's this debate of what's the best league in the world, and I truly believe it's the Premier League, maybe for different reasons. I think since them being English and coming from that league and watching the majority of the Premier League games, I think they have this bias towards themselves. They think they're the best or the best league. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, Jude has been he kind of opened that way up for for other players in a way. I believe him and Sancho too, because Sancho did he chose a similar career
Yeah,
path. So they're
yeah,
definitely
Sanchez. So
opening that way up for these players, and it's showing that hey, if you have the talent, you don't have to play in the Premier League to be getting called up for the national team, and you know having this. So personally, like if you look at the likes of Beckham, Owen, these were the original English players because during that time, English football was strictly in house. They never really,
right.
they didn't go out of there. So it looks like Bellingham is one of, you're considering him up there with those likes, of players, and to be considered, that good of a player, that's very, very good. So I
So
think
you
he's
just
going to
gotta
definitely show what he's worth.
live
Yeah.
up the hype then
Yep.
to the hype that's created. Now let me ask you this, because Gundogan, obviously he's gonna be a starter at Barcelona with Busquets departing and everything. What about Bellingham and Real Madrid? Like, I know they spend a ton of money, big name signing, but you got other players at Real Madrid that play in a similar position. Chumani and Camavinga. Obviously, Camavinga is a little bit more flexible and he can play in other positions. But do you think Bellingham is 100% starter from the get go at Real Madrid?
Oh yeah. Why would they spend that type of money, and why would they buy him if he wasn't planning on
So,
starting? I think eventually he'll even end up being captain too for that team. If it's a long term plan and everything goes well, definitely I believe so that he's gonna start every game, and especially every important game. He
Well,
might
you
get
got to
the odd game
understand,
out here and there, but he's a 20-year
they've
old kid. The kid's not gonna get tired.
they paid a lot of money for Chumani. Also, don't forget that.
Right, but it's long term. I mean, they're having their midfield. It's a rebuild of their midfield. They're having, Kroos, Modric. They probably have another year left.
Right.
Um, they have no one between those two guys, and they don't have anyone else. They lost Casemiro. They don't have any actual like big name midfielders, and now we're seeing.
Well, they
Okay,
got
we saw
Valverde,
Camavinga is a good
Valverde,
player.
but he plays a little
so
bit more advanced.
Who?
What is
Valverde,
Valverde's natural
Oh,
position?
Valverde. Yeah, but Valverde is also 20. He's older in age too. This is
he's more
Valverde
like
is
we're
not that
talking.
old,
He's probably 25, 26 years old. He's
right?
older
But
than
that's
me. Like
still that's
no,
his
should.
peak.
that's very good age, but I believe Bellingham is going to be the first name on that team sheet. You wouldn't spend that type of money to keep him on the bench.
Well, I
And I think he's
disagree.
going to
I'm
rotate
not
him
gonna
in.
mention Hazard or anything, but Loren.
No, hey, Hazard doesn't
So
that much money, but
I I think it's gonna depend on Bellingham. It depends how. I mean, he definitely has the quality, has the talent, to break through the first team. It's gonna depend, how long it takes him to adjust to the La Liga. So yes, they spend a lot of money, and let's not forget, soccer is not just on the field; it's also off the field. Spend money in brand name, marketing. People expect to see Bellingham play. However, Real Madrid always attracted big name players. Some, didn't turn out. I mean, they spent a lot of money on Jovic before, promising, didn't play. Uh, so if we think even Chelsea, Midrick, a lot of money, had a hard time, adjusting. Granted, these are different types of players, and Bellingham has a little bit more experience, even though he's younger. But it's going to depend if he's able to break in the team. I mean, he's definitely going to give him the chance to play. But it's going to be up to him if he manages, to pretty much make a name for himself with Real Madrid. I feel like it's going to be hard to take him off the list. But if he's having a hard time adjusting, any manager cannot justify playing him just because they spent a lot of money. That's gonna, and it's Real Madrid.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Like,
Well,
you
Well,
need
doubts
and that's why
results.
I
aside,
brought up, and
it
that's
So,
why I
sounds like
brought
you're
up
doubting the guy.
huh?
Hazard's name. What were you saying, Chris?
It sounds like he's doubting. He has more doubts than me and you both do on Bellingham. I mean, obviously, because he picked another player too, also
I mean, it's
transfers
it's
money.
a it's a different league.
No, I mean,
Although the Bundesliga and La Liga, I wouldn't say much different.
my doubt too
Go
is,
ahead, Lauren.
after Ronaldo left, it's coming for Real Madrid. Even though Vinicius had a great season, they relied on Benzema. So now Benzema left. It's going to take some time to find their leader. So I don't know what kind of tactics or what the coach is gonna try to play. Until I find that whatever works for them, it's gonna be a little bit of experimenting. So that's why I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, I understand that, but you're not hiring this guy to score you goals. You're hiring this guy to, be the engine of the midfield. Even when
Correct.
Benzema and Ronaldo were there, you still had players like Modric and Kroos in the middle. So this
Correct.
guy's work
So
for a guy that's not trained, he's not going to be selling, a million T-shirts or whatever jerseys. He's not that type of player, but it's definitely one of the most important players for a person that has a trained eye that's watching the game. He's gonna love
correct.
Bellingham personally, I think.
But
And then if you
that's my dilemma. It's kind of
yeah.
when the team doesn't perform, it doesn't matter. Benzema, I mean, Bellingham can give five basically assists, and if they're not scoring, guess what? That doesn't make the news. It's the team tied or the team lost. So that's gonna devalue him as a player, even though he's having a great season. Because it's not like he's in a mid-table team
Right.
and he's having great games. He's at Real Madrid, it's a top team. So if the team's not doing good, everyone's getting blamed, and that's why I have no doubt he's gonna do well. It's kind of like a transition period for Real Madrid a little bit. So that's why I'm not sure.
Definitely. But Lorenzo,
Fair
do
enough.
you think he's there for assists though? Because I don't. I think he's there, to for the transition, of the game from defense to offense. He's not there necessarily assist. That's how I personally see it, at least. So
Well,
even if he
if you
doesn't get assists, but he reads the game and the game, the whole game goes through him. I think he would have done his job.
right, but if you look at that in that position, like we said, you have Chouameni, you have Kamavinga, Modric is a playmaker. Um, it's kind of hard to just keep him for that, simply for that. He's a creative player. He makes those runs. Even at Dortmund, if you watch how he played, the guy takes a lot of the pressure and opens up other players. So, I mean, obviously it's a different level now with Real Madrid.
But
But
at Dortmund, I think Dortmund plays more open, so he had left that flexibility. But at Real Madrid, because I see Bellingham as a Busquets type of player, right? Busquets never had any assists or any goals, but he was the game pretty much. That's how I personally see it,
No,
and
he
that's how
has a
I
lot
see
more assets
Bellingham
than
at
Busquets.
Real Madrid.
He has a lot more assets than Busquets, I think personally. Even though Busquets had he was
Yeah,
the best at those 2 3 assets that he had. I think Bellingham he's all rounded player. He's got a decent shot. He's got a very good pass. He has vision. He has, a very good engine. He can run back and forth. Because if you want to say, okay, in Dortmund he's like that, but look at his game for England. And you can argue England sometimes play pragmatic football, and it, it's not like it's not that free open game or attacking game. That's due to Southgate, but that's a different story.
and,
But even there, he shines. So, um,
that's why I said I had my doubts because honestly, if you put even this year, even though Modric is old and getting towards the end of his career, if you put Modric and Bellingham together, they might just probably make one of the best midfield duos like in the entire world. You have Modric has experience, has a vision, proven himself over and over. Now you got
for one
Bellingham.
year,
Right. I mean, so for Bellingham, it'll be great to learn even from Modric, right? Because I mean, top player. Two, if you have both of them playing at the same
right,
time,
right,
if you're the opposing team, what do you do? Like who's the ball gonna run through? So like it gives you a little bit of
right.
unpredictability. So it'll be exciting to watch for sure.
it's crazy. It's crazy to think that Modric is almost double Bellingham's age.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah, that's true.
Bellingham definitely has is in the right team. He's going to learn a lot from the likes of Kroos and Modric. It's going to be exciting. Yeah, so we got me and Chris think Bellingham is the best signing, and we got Lorenzo who thinks Gundogan is the best signing. Only time will tell. But that was all for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in, the Offside Perspective, and we'll see you in other episodes. Peace.
Yeah.